What it do, happy campers? Alright, today we made a trip down to Colorado Springs. We're going to be helping my brother install this 3,500 pound capacity electric A-frame jack on the front tongue of his camper. Be sure to check out the description for all the tools and some more product information on this thing. Alright, let's get to it. First thing we need to do is get the weight off the jack that's on the tongue of the camper now. There's a couple ways we can do this. You could use your leveling jacks. You could attach the trailer to a vehicle. We're lucky in this case, we've got a spare jack that's on the side of the camper tongue now, and that's what we're going to use to jack this thing up high enough to relieve the pressure off of the jack that's on the front of the tongue. We're going to move the propane tank cover out of the way just to give us a little more room. You may or may not have to do this depending on what your camper looks like or how it's configured. One thing to make sure of, though, is to make sure that your existing jack is not, for some reason, welded to the tongue. Theoretically, it should not be welded to the tongue, but you never know what some people do. So before you go buying a new jack, make sure you know if yours is just bolted on or welded on, because if it's welded on, you may need to get some help. If it's bolted on, though, it's real simple to remove the old jack. All we got to do is remove the 3 bolts holding it down. In our case today, they're 9/16, but I'm sure this could vary depending on your camper. Today we got Camper Joe working on the wrenches for us, so big thanks to Camper Joe. Once you've gotten the 3 bolts out, you're just going to need to detach the footplate from the bottom of the jack. Usually it's attached with a pin. Pull the pin out, and then you can just lift the jack straight up out of the tongue. Now get out the new jack and get it ready to install. Now Camper Joe will remove the foot plate from the new jack by removing the pin, and now we're ready to go put it in the tongue of the camper. Now we can just slide the new jack into place through the hole in the top of the tongue, line up the holes for the bolts, and then we can just thread in all 3 bolts. Once threaded in, we can go ahead and tighten down pretty tight with our ratchet. We're using a 9/16 today. Of course, depending on your camper configuration before or the type of jack you bought, the bolt size may be different. Now we need to lower the jack in order to install the footplate. So we're going to go ahead and pop this piece off the top and insert our hand crank, and we're going to hand crank it down far enough, and then we'll be able to install the footplate. Now that we've got the jack far enough down, we can slide the footplate into place, and then we'll secure it into place with the cotter pin. I apologize, guys. The batteries on my brother's camper were dead, so we had to use the truck to power the jack to give it a test. Normally, you would just run the 1 power wire coming off the jack all the way back to the positive on your battery on your camper to complete the install. Alrighty, happy campers, that completes our tutorial on how to install an electric A-frame jack on the front of your camper. We hope it was helpful for you. Please check out the links in the description, and also look for the tools and product information in the description as well. Please like, subscribe, and share. Peace!